Welcome to HollyLegacy. Don't forget to like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to stay updated with our latest video. We now know that Gene Hackman and his wife did not die on the dates we thought before. They were found dead in their home in New Mexico last month. Hackman was a Hollywood star and legend who one day disappeared from the spotlight and away from fame. When his and his wife's deaths were found, they left more questions than answers. Now, a shocking new discovery has been made that disproves all previous theories. There are rumors of a hidden past that he never talked about. What was he hiding, and why did he leave it all behind? The truth is out, and it's beyond any movie he ever made. Stay with us as we go deeper, because this story is about to take a crazy turn. Eugene Hackman was a Hollywood star, but he was also a force to be reckoned with. He built a career that most actors could only dream of. Hackman, a two-time Academy Award winner who had long avoided the spotlight in Hollywood, did something unexpected at the height of his fame. He quit Hollywood. He didn't give his fans a farewell tour or a dramatic farewell. He just left them in silence after his retirement in 2004. Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, moved to Santa Fe to live a private life. He avoided the spotlight and never explained why he left. Arakawa, a former classical pianist, co-founded their close ties to the community by opening a home furnishing store in Santa Fe. However, his actions left fans wondering if he was just time-tired of Hollywood or if there was something more to it, while fans were still wondering why the actor disappeared from the spotlight. In such a strange way, the world was shocked to hear that G. Hackman and his wife had died. It wasn't just their deaths that shocked everyone. The way their bodies were found has left everyone speechless. Everyone was shocked. There were strange details and unanswered questions that made the whole thing seem mysterious. What happened in Hackman's private home? And why did it take so long for the truth to come out? Buckle up, because this story is full of turns and a surprise that no one saw coming. The mysterious deaths and causes of Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, have left people with more questions than answers following their deaths. They were found dead in their home in Santa Fe, New Mexico, on February 26, 2025. The deaths were sad enough, but the strange events that led to their discovery have made this story even scarier. Friends of Gene Hackman, who was 95 years old and had Alzheimer's for a while, said he had changed a lot in the past few months. One said he just wasn't the same anymore. It was difficult to see his health get worse, so he stayed home more and avoided going out. People who knew him well noticed that he had become suspicious. He told one friend that he thought someone was watching him. It could have been his illness. He might have been fooled, or it could have been real. We'll never know. It all came to light when Jesse Kiesler, a contractor who had been the couple's Hackman handyman for over 16 years, got worried because he hadn't heard from them in a while and thought something wasn't right. He sent a security guard to check on them, and what they found was like something out of a horror movie. After the fact, Jessica, who was still shaken, said it was one of the worst days of her life. Hackman was in another room. The police found something even stranger. The couple's dogs, Bear and Nikita, kept pacing the house. They kept leading the first responders from room to room as if they were trying to say something. Eventually, they stopped right where Hackman's body was. That wasn't the only strange thing they saw. The couple had a third dog. Xena was found dead in a box, having been hungry and dehydrated. Why had she been locked up, and why hadn't anyone let her out? She had asked for help and did not receive answers from investigators. Investigators quickly figured out how they died. While Hackman died of heart disease made worse by his Alzheimer's, Betsy died of Hunter-Cyrus pulmonary syndrome, a rare disease spread by rodent droppings. Her death made things even more confusing. How did she get such a rare illness in a wealthy, well-kept home? Hackman may not have known his wife had died. He could have been alone in the house with her for days without knowing what happened. The house was also very scary because it looked like time had stopped. An empty cup of tea stood next to Hackman's desk, and food sat on the kitchen counter, ready for consumption. There were no signs of a fight or a call for help, and the neighbors hadn't seen anything strange. They eventually found their bodies. Hackman was still sitting in his chair with a half-written note in front of him, and Betsy was upstairs. With her hands folded over her chest, it looked like someone had carefully placed them there. The couple's pets have also been a touching part of this case. People are confused about what transpired with Xena. The 12-year-old Australian Kelpie mixed dog was her mummification in a crate, having died of dehydration and starvation, which rules out poisoning or infection. Hackman's other two dogs, Bear and Nikita, were found alive and reportedly led emergency workers to his body, showing how close the pets were to their owners. Is the incident just a sad case of old age and illness, or is there something else we don't know? Now let's talk about the rumored study. After Gene Hackman and Betsy died, the house in Santa Fe, New Mexico, was cleaned up, and an investigation team found a room that had been there for years without anyone knowing about it. Hackman never told his family, so it was a secret he wanted to keep hidden, a part of his memory that no one was allowed to touch. But when the police and cleaning crew searched the empty house, they found a door locked from the outside, as if someone wanted it to stay shut. After much effort, they managed to open the door, and the sight inside stunned everyone. The room wasn't as empty as one might think. Many of the shelves and bookcases were dusty, but the desk in the middle was eerily clean, and there was a blank sheet of paper ready to be typed on at any time. The shelves were full of yellowed books about criminology codes and unsolved cases. Some books had pencil notes in them, and other books had pages that were marked. Most notably, they found a series of handwritten draft letters that were never sent, and an unfinished manuscript called The Truth We Bury. The ink on the pages of this manuscript was fresher than the others, making it seem like the typewriter had been used. Recently, before the room lockdown, the first pages of the manuscript described the main character as a veteran Hollywood actor who had lived a great life but kept a secret that no one knew about. The story was about an event from the character's past that he didn't want to talk about, and a mysterious room he tried to hide from everyone. It was like Hackman had written a scary prophecy about himself. Next to the manuscript was a stack of letters from some letters had never been sent. Some were old and yellowed, and some were fairly new. One letter stood out because it was addressed to someone no one had ever heard of. The name wasn't related to any of Hackman's friends, family, or co-workers, and the letter's content was jumbled as if the writer had thought about what to write before starting. Was it an admission of guilt or a forgotten writer's confession? Ramblings, but the letters made the room even stranger. Besides the manuscript and letters, there were other things in the room that made it even stranger. An old photo lay face down on the desk when it was turned over. It showed a picture of an unknown young woman. On the back of the photo, someone had written, "Never forget." There were rough drawings of a house that no one knew, and strange dialogue fragments written on pieces of paper that said they will come looking, but they won't find it. Many clues pointed to parts of Hackman's past, but were they real or made up? The room felt like a vault full of secrets that Hackman didn't want anyone to know. But now that the door was open, new questions came up. Like, why had it been locked for so long? Who had used it last? And what else was hidden inside that hadn't been found yet? As they went through the stacks of papers, they found a small wooden box carefully wrapped in paper. When they opened it, they found handwritten drafts of unfinished screenplays. These scripts had nothing to do with Hollywood. No one had heard of them, and Hackman wasn't even known as a screenwriter. One of the scripts was called The Last Man on Set. As an actor and co-author of several mystery books, Hackman was well known, but no one knew that he had also written film scripts. The discovery of these scripts raised a critical question. Did Hackman want these stories to be shared with the public, or were they meant to remain private forever? The title of the script, The Loneliest Man on Set, made people feel lonely. It was about an old actor who used to be famous but had been left by Hollywood. He wandered through old film sets where the lights used to be on. The main character, Edward Lane, was an award-winning actor, but no one remembered him now that he was old. Directors and producers who used to look for him stopped calling and talking to him. Then one day he was invited to producers who used to look for him, stopped calling him and talking to him. Then one day he was invited to an empty studio where he had shot his first movie. There were only dusty props, old film reels, and a creepy vibe left. As the story got stranger, Edward quickly realized that the scenes around him were playing back lines from his old movies. Films rang through the empty room, and reflections in the glass showed not his present self, but a picture of him as a child many years ago. In the final scene, Edward Lane stood in an empty studio, looked straight into the camera and said, "They will remember me only when it's too late." Of the script felt like a curse, a dark prophecy was Hackman writing about himself. Since he had turned down all film offers, given no interviews, and made no public appearances during his retirement, did he really want to be forgotten? The last man on set seemed to show an obsession with the decline of fame, which is a fear many veteran actors share. But P-Man didn't cling to the spotlight. Instead, he buried it. Even though most of the script was finished, some pages were missing and dialogues were left unfinished. There was a small note in the wooden box with the haunting words, "The ending doesn't matter. No one will see it anyway." These words made people very uncomfortable had Hackman accepted that no one would ever read his story. The other papers contained other scripts, each with parts of Hackman's confessions and memories encoded into characters and dialogues. One was called The Man Who Walked Away and was about a famous man who disappeared. As these drafts became public, more questions were raised. Did he intend to publish them? Were they fiction, or did they reveal a truth he never told anyone? And finally, was there something Hackman never said about the rumors and speculations about their deaths and the strange circumstances of their deaths? After a lot of research, the first test for carbon monoxide poisoning came back negative, and there were no signs of foul play. However, the fact that a rare virus like the ghost virus was found in an urban area made things more confusing. The health officials usually find that people get the hantavirus in rural areas where there are many rodents, so finding it in a clean home is very unusual. To make things even more confusing, rumors and conspiracy theories started spreading online. One said that bodies had been found in a secret tunnel under the Hackman home. But these rumors were not true and have been debunked by reliable sources. This situation also showed how hard it is for caregivers. Emma Hemming Willis is married to actor Bruce Willis and has frontotemporal dementia. Compared the role of Arakawa in Hackman's life to stress the need for support systems for caregivers. She said that caregivers often put their own health last while taking care of their loved ones, emphasizing how important it is to add to the confusion. Different sources say that Betsy died at different times. Official papers say she died on February 11th, but Dr. Joshua Child from Cloudberry Health says she called his clinic on February 12th to make an appointment. Because of this difference, there is more doubt about the study in the middle of all these strange details. There isn't any security footage from the Hackman home, and investigators aren't even sure if there was any. If there were, the missing footage could have given important clues about what happened before the couple died. And the fact that the FBI is now involved in the investigation has made people even less sure. The police are genuinely interested in the couple's deaths and are carefully going through all the evidence. From drugs to Gage Hackman's paranoia, the absence of a clear timeline, and the missing security video have all led to numerous questions, ons, and theories. Many people were interested in the couple's big estate, which was thought to be worth $62 million. Some think they died of health problems, while others think something more sinister may have happened. There were questions arose about the inheritance, as Hackman's will reportedly named only Arakawa as the beneficiary. Heirs say that if Hackman doesn't update his will, his estate may go to his 3 children from his first marriage. This new information makes an already difficult situation even harder. Arakawa's complicated will, which left her money to Hackman and then to charity if they both died within 90 days of each other, made things even more difficult as people tried to make sense